Writing Award. Always attracted to people who are passionate about life, Carol's business, Tales of a Lifetime, preserves their legacy with stories and photographs in a full-color hardbound book. Tonight, the talented Carol LaValle will recite Lewis Carroll's Jabberwocky and read a selection of her own entitled The Hot Air Enthusiast and the Dragon. Carol LaValle.
Thank you, Ken. I'm going to try this without the mic. Can you hear me back there?
Bye.
This is a silly poem by Lewis Carroll that I learned when I had my daughter, and I would read it to her, and eventually she got so she could read it back to me. So here goes. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves and the mome rats outbrave. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub-jub bird and shun the frumious bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the maxim foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through, that vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with his head went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. Oh, frabjous day, callooh-callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves and the mome rats outgrave. Okay, this is The Hot Air Enthusiast and the Dragon, and I wrote it about 8 years ago for my daughter. A gnome was selling wicker baskets at the festival in Albuquerque, where hot air enthusiasts gather to commune in the sky in May. The twinkle in his eye caught mine, as did the belly in his laugh, and I drew closer to hear him spin tales of his adventures past. Did you ever wonder what became of the castle in the clouds when Jack chopped down the beanstalk and the giant made a big hole in the ground? I flew my balloon up higher one day than ever man or gnome had gone before, burst through the fluffy ceiling. Sit a spell, I'll tell you more. Of a castle gray beneath a rainbow, with great brass knockers on the door. In the moat frolicked Komodo dragons, hitting a volleyball with boat oars. I sailed across the drawbridge, landed my loon, exited and knocked. Are the occupants at home, Sir Dragon? They eat visitors. He took stock. Blowing black smoke through his nostrils, the little dragon roaring sighed. This castle's already been leased. Get back in your loon and fly. From this lofty castle fallen is the giant of Jack's tale. His widow's gone back to Holland. At least that's where I send her mail. But I'm an accidental tourist, O mithril-scaled one. Might your masters grant me some fuel, lest I plummet from the sun? Don't mess with the wizards, the little dragon roaring said. Between bites of sugar tar, he looked at me and shook his head. He smacked his mouth, he licked his lips, then leered at me with full, sharp teeth. You'd be crunchy and tasty with ketchup. I'm certain the wizards would agree. But of hot air I am full, so if you'll provide the ride, I'd like to prove the earth is round. From here, we can only see one side. We floated down to earth gently and stopped at my lofty treehouse to pick up my talking cat Fuku and say hello to her pet mouse. In less than 80 days we traveled, the globe then went round it again, east to north, south to west, where I said bye-bye to my fiery friend. With a belly in his laugh and a twinkle in each lavender eye, the gnome pointed a gnarled finger up, and his audience looked to the sky. Down flew a lime-bright dragon to the festival in Albuquerque, where too much dandelion wine was drunk, or so claimed the papers the next day.